A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. Here we are with our paper 1 preparation for June 2023 examination on the unit research aptitude. As you all are aware that we have already completed the first unit, that is teaching aptitude. All the lectures of teaching aptitude are available in the description box, that is the link. And now we have started with research aptitude unit, this is the second lecture. Even the first lecture link is available in the description box. Today the topic for our session is approaches to research. So today is this topic which we are going to see or discuss in detail about. Before we go ahead, let's announce that what does Global Online has for you all. As you all know that we have a very less limited time, that is just a span of 2 months for the preparation of your June 2023 examination. So we have brought up a revision crash course. The highlights of this course are daily live lectures which are in Hindi as well as in English. Full syllabus notes which will be downloadable in PDF format, 60 plus mock test, as well as we have 2000 practice questions MCQ format. The fees for this is actually rupees 4000, but we have kept 40% off right now, so fees is 2400. You can also download our Global Online app. You can see the sessions over there. You can also see the demo sessions, and we have given you the contact details. You can get in touch with us for any query, assistance or any doubt on the given WhatsApp number. So yes, now let's start with the topic for the day, that is called as approaches to research. Okay, now basically this diagrammatic presentation is first talking about what? It's talking about research onion. Now when I say research onion, it represents what? It represents the layers. Okay, now these layers are basically a framework to research which indicates research philosophy, research approaches, and this is the point which we are going to see today: methodological choices, research strategy, time horizons. Now, and your data collection and analysis. So let's look at these particular research onion. The onion was given by Saunders, which is presented. We have it in the year 2012. Okay, now let's look at these research onion research layer very well. We are going to do this research layer in detail also, but right now today we are just taking a very small part of it. So when I talk about research philosophy, wherein we have positivism, critical realism, interpretivism, postmodernism and pragmatism. When we talk about approaches, yes, we have inductive, deductive and abductive approach. Till now we were studying about what? We were studying about inductive and deductive. We are going to see one more approach today, that is called as abductive approach in detail. Apart from that, methodological choices which we have already done, qualitative, mixed methods and quantitative methods. We have already completed this in the first class. Research strategy, where we are going to see experimental, survey research, case study, ethnographic, narrative, grounded theory, action research, archival research. This today will take some part and later will take some part. Again, time horizon, where we are going to see cross-sectional studies, as well as you are going to see longitudinal study, and data collection and analysis. Manihul Hassan did not get teaching aptitude PDF. I told that PDF will be provided in WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp group, and that WhatsApp group PDF are provided the moment the lecture was over, the last lecture was over. On Thursday itself I have sent all the PDFs on the WhatsApp group of on Global Online. Okay, we have the WhatsApp group on Global Online. There we provide all the study material. Is it clear? Okay, so now this is how the research onion looks like. So research onion consists of research philosophy, research approach, methodological choices, research strategy, time horizons and data collection and analysis. Now in detail we have seen all this. Today as I said, our detail today part is research approach. So let's talk about research approach in detail. So first, going towards your inductive approach. So this particular approach, okay, I have not labeled it, sorry. This particular approach is your inductive approach. Now let's see how this inductive approach of research is what exactly does it talks about, or what exactly does it explains in detail. So inductive approach or inductive approach to the research, basically it is talking about what? It is talking about the research question and research objective, that is to understand the, here I have taken on basis of what I have taken agriculture as one example. Okay, so to understand the farm women involvement in decision making in agriculture matters. So this example I have taken about agriculture matters. So to understand the farm women involvement in decision making, that is your research question or your research objective. Going ahead with your respondents, that is identification of farm women for data collection. So obviously we want to see their involvement in decision making process. So what we are doing, we are identifying the women's for data collection. Okay, then comes your data collection process. So qualitative methods of data collection are adopted, where it will be in the form of focused group discussion or in-depth interview. So here, which type of research strategy we will be taking? We will be taking qualitative research strategy. We will be coming across with qualitative research strategy. Now, after the qualitative research strategy in the form of data collection, we will be going ahead with what? We will be going ahead with data analysis. So data analysis, where qualitative methods of data analysis are adopted. Like for example, thematic analysis, identifying the themes, the patterns, the testable hypothesis in order to formulate a testable hypothesis. And then comes your outcome, or in the form of result, a conceptual framework which shows farm women involvement in the decision making process of agriculture method. So here your conceptual framework will be decided. Your conceptual framework will be taking place, which will talk about what? Which will talk about taking the decisions in the agricultural matters. So this is how it goes with your deductive approach. This is how it goes with your inductive approach of research. One of the strategy of research is in the form of what? In the form of inductive approach, and that's what we have seen now. Now let's go let's go a little bit ahead and let's understand your deductive research approach. Okay, let's see your deductive research approach. So when I'm talking about deductive research approach, here it will start with what? It will start with your research question, that what are the factors which influences farmer support to agriculture tourism, that is agri-tourism development. So here I have taken another example which indicates that the factors which will influence the development. Then we will go for literature review. So we will compare the profit, the relationship between various concepts in the form of profit. Then we will come to framing of a hypothesis. That is, hypothesis will be framed, your alternate hypothesis and your null hypothesis. After your hypothesis is framed, your data collection and analysis will take place, where data is collected from the structured questionnaire for hypothesis testing, and then based on that your results or outcomes will come. If your data supports the proposed hypothesis, the theory will be accepted. If not, the theory will be either revised or modified or rejected. Okay, so that becomes your acceptance or rejectance of the theory. So this is how your deductive and your inductive approaches are taking place. So deductive and inductive approaches, which plays an important role in your research strategy, that we have done in detail. Okay, we have studied how this comes as a part of what? Part of your research strategy. Then going ahead, in case if you have not understood the approaches of research, we will see it one by one. Now here I just have to just a second, I will just show, I'll just move the screen afterwards. It is basically, this approach is your inductive approach. Okay, the first is your inductive approach, this is your deductive approach, okay, and this is your abductive approach. I'll just adjust the slide just a minute here, because the length of the slide is little bit, yes. Later on I'll move again. Okay, so inductive approach, we'll see approaches one by one. Inductive approach, deductive approach, and abduction approach. So let's see one by one how this approach is, and this is a new one. This is something we are going to study in the different format. So let's go one by one how these approaches are coming across. So when we talk about inductive approach, here a researcher uses premises which are developed from observations to draw the untested conclusion. So the here premises are used from what? They are used from the statements, are used from observations. They are developed from observations in order to draw what? In order to draw a conclusion. Okay, whereas in deductive approach, premises are based on existing theory that are true, then the conclusions are also true. So if the theory is right, the conclusion comes to be right. And what happens in abduction approach? Known premises, generally some surprising or incomplete conclusions, are used to generate some testable conclusion. So something which is known, something which is incomplete, is used in order to generate what? A testable conclusion. That is called as an abduction approach. Now, generalization process, here this particular part comes in your examination very well, so you should know more about this. So induction is from specific to general, from one particular aspect to a general aspect, whereas deduction is from general to specific, whereas abduction approach is interaction between specific and general. So it considers interactive mode between a specific and the general form. So it is not, it is not something else, it is interaction, collaboration between the approaches. Generalizability, the findings cannot be, you're generalized. Here the findings can be generalized to the research settings or the context of the theories applied. So you cannot generalize the findings here, cannot be generalized in your inductive approach. Okay, whereas in your deductive approach it is generalized. And abduction approach, the findings can be generalized to the research theory, either to the theory which is applied or with the help of research settings. So it depends upon what and how it is going to express. Okay, coming to inductive approach, the use of data. Researcher collects, we have taken an agriculture example over here. So researcher collects the data to identify the patterns. That is with the help of what? With the help of conceptual framework as a conclusion. So we have taken one example already over here. When we come to deduction approach, data is collected to test the hypothesis. So what is the intention in deductive approach? It is basically to test the hypothesis of an existing theory. And coming to abduction approach, it is basically, it collects the data to identify the pattern, the themes, the conceptual framework, okay, with the subsequent data collection. Now, coming to the theory part, so theory is built. In induction, we build the theory. So here you have to note that theory cannot be verified. It is only built, okay, it is come up, the theory comes up. Whereas in deductive, the theory is either verified or falsified. And coming to abduction approach, here it can be modified or generated based on what? Based on the existing theories. So just make sure that the points are properly understood, the points are well cleared, and then you can come up with what? You can come up with your statements, because we have to do statements over here. We are going to take one question over here, and based on that question you have to answer the question. I hope it is very clear. We have studied research strategy approaches, that is approaches in the form of strategy, inductive approach, deductive approach, and abduction approach. So when you talk about induction approach, it is something from specific to general. Deductive is from general to specific, whereas abductive approach is basically interaction between the specific and general. Okay, in induction, theory is built, it's built. Okay, deduction, it is either verified or it is falsified, whereas in coming to abduction approach, it is generated or it is modified. Okay, now Apart from this, yes, we are going to see some various concepts today of research, different types of research. So anyways, in detail also, one by one I'm going to take this in detail, but at least I'm helping you to get known through the concepts. So let's start with fundamental research. So fundamental research is something which is generalized to make addition to the existing knowledge. You're adding something to the existing knowledge, which is basically conducted to formulate the theories. Okay, it is conducted to formulate the theories which has a great scope of application. So basically fundamental research is also called as a basic research, or it is also called as what? A pure research. When we talk about applied research, so applied research is used for any specific social business issue. So if you want to conduct or to find a particular problem or to analyze a particular issue, we come up with what? We come up with your applied research. So it is used for a specific social or a business issue. So that is what it is implemented for. Coming to structured research. Now structured research, talking about structured research, in this research the objectives, design, samples are pre-decided, structured, which are planned, which are properly which is in advance done, which are properly set, which are properly designed, which are properly pre-planned. It means everything is done well in advance. Whereas coming to structured research, where it is used, so it is used in quantitative research. It is used basically for the quantitative research to know the extent of the problem, what exactly the level of problem is. So for that it is used in quantitative research. Coming to unstructured research, it is something which allows flexibility as well as objective design, which are not pre-decided. It is useful in qualitative research. So basically it is seen where? It is seen in qualitative research. So structured research are a part of what? Are a part of quantitative research. Unstructured research are a part of qualitative research. Is it clear? Now coming to conceptual and empirical. Okay, conceptual, which is based on the concepts, which is based on certain theories. So when I say conceptual research, it is to establish a specific concept, a theory, which is based on what? Which is based on observations or intellectual and not experiments. It is not basically on experiments, but only on the concepts based on observation and intellectual. Yes, it is based on the theoretical approaches to develop new theories. See, when you are talking about concepts, something new, okay, which is redefined, either something new or which is redefined where there is already an existence one. Empirical research, it involves performing experiments to test the relevance of old theories or to provide the base of new theories. So here you do not come with redefining or something. So they just see the relevance of old theories, or they provide base to the new theories. So it is based on practical and experimental approach. So this is basically talking about what? It is basically talking about the practical and experimental approach. Okay. Now yes, structured and unstructured we have already done. So here it is repeated. You can just ignore it out. Coming to descriptive and analytical research. So when we are talking about descriptive research, okay, describing, so it's simply just simply to explain what is what occurred or what is occurring, that is describing a problem or a phenomena, that is a process where we are describing a research in the form of its occurrence or in the form of its problem situation or a phenomena, that is a process. Yes, we use the terms description, classification, comparison, which are used to describe the phenomena. Example I have taken over here, analyzing the trend of prices of pulses. So here you are describing, you're classifying, or you're comparing the prices of your the pulses, the trend of the prices. Coming to analytical research, yes, it explains why it has occurred or how it has occurred. So basically it talks about its occurrence, why. Okay. Now Coming to the cost and effect relationship, your cost and effect relationship is explained very well. Okay, for analyzing the reasons behind the, like example will take analyzing the reasons behind the change in the prices of pulses. This is how it is indicated. Okay, now yes, I hope everyone is clear. We will just once again take a proper understanding. Small topics I have taken, but just to make it very sure that these topics are well understood, they are well, you remember these topics very well, and then we can come to the question of the day for you all. So we started with what? We basically started with the first thing that is called as your research philosophy. Okay, now when we talk about research philosophy is, it is in the form of what? Layers. Research onion, you can call it as research onion, or you can call it as the layers. So when you are talking about layers, we have research philosophy, okay, we have research approach, we have research methodological choices, we have research strategy, time horizon, and data collection and analysis. So under research philosophy, we have seen positivism, criticism, interpretivism, postmodernism, and pragmatism. Research approaches, that's what we did today in the form of what? Inductive, deductive, and abductive approach. Coming next to is your research methodological choices. So this we have done qualitative, we have done quantitative, and we have done mixed methods. Mixed means where your qualitative and quantitative both are implemented. Research strategy we are going to see later, where we are going to see experimental, survey, case study, ethnography, narrative, grounded research, and so on. Time horizon, we have two horizons, cross-sectional and longitudinal, and then we'll see data collection and analysis. Then we started with our inductive approach. So under inductive approach, what we can see is that we started with a research question, or we started with what? We started with research objective. Okay, in inductive we are talking about what? We are talking about inductive approach right now. So how this inductive approach started with? So inductive approach started with, in simple terms if I used, okay, it started with research, okay, you can say it's question or objective, coming to the respondents, coming to data collection analysis, and the result. So in simple sense, you can say that a specific observation, okay, going ahead with a pattern, okay, pattern recognition, and then coming to a general conclusion. So we say that it is from specific to general. It is called as specific to general. So you started with something very specific and you generalized something. Started with something very specific. With the help of your data collection, your data analysis, you came something very general. Going with your deductive approach. So in deductive approach, as per our example, you can say we started with certain, theory, existing theory. We already started with a theory that factors influencing. We formulated the hypothesis. Yes, we did over here. We collected the data. See, the data collection happened. We analyzed the data collection and analysis, and we decided whether to accept or reject the hypothesis. Okay, it means that we went from something very general and we came something very specific. Okay, this is what we did. Okay, now this is what was talked. We spoke about inductive and deductive approach. Now coming to abductive approach of your research, because we have the third approach of your research. So in that what we saw is abductive approach of your research is, it starts with incomplete sets, okay, of observation, incomplete, which is not complete, to the possible explanation of group of observation. So it starts with something incomplete and it comes with, it completes, or in other words I can say it starts with a tentative explanation with the sense, obviously with the observation, but there is no appropriate explanation or rule. Okay, and this do not, this considers what interaction within variables. So like for example, if I give you the examples of abductive approach, lean startup, that is, or a grounded theory, or you can say a constructive design. Okay, these are all the examples which comes for your abduction approach. Is it clear? Then then we studied something based on what we studied something for the sense of fundamentals research. We came with respect to applied research. We saw structured research and unstructured research, and then we came to conceptual and empirical. This is how we considered it very well. And now, based on this descriptive and analytical, based on this, you have your question of the day. Now this question of the day, I want to see everyone's answer in the comment box. Now my question is, which of the following sequence best describes the deductive logic of inquiry? Which of the following sequence best describes the deductive logic of inquiry? Whether it is theory, data, hypothesis, data, theory, hypothesis, data, empirical pattern theory, theory, hypothesis, data, or it is empirical pattern, or it is hypothesis, or it is theory. Okay, we have done this question, so you can please put your answers in the comment box, so that all those who have came up with your understanding of the concept will put the answers in the comment box very well. Yes, meanwhile meanwhile we will just understand that yes, for paper, okay, abductive approach, you want me to go ahead? Okay, just a minute, I'll just go through this this slide and then I'll come back. Okay, so anyone who is looking for a study material for any of this following paper 2 subject, please check your subjects, and these are the study material which is available in the form of MCQ and notes. You can join us, you can get in touch with us on this given numbers. The fees is 1600, but right now we are keeping a 20% off, so the fees will be what, 1280. Okay, now without this slide I'll explain you first, so that you will understand what exactly is abductive approach. Okay, so now see, when we are talking about abductive approach, okay, in simple way, I'll just clear this. Okay, it is something incomplete. Okay, I'll just write over here. We are talking about what? We are talking about abductive approach, okay, or reasoning, you can tell, of research. Now here we start with something which is incomplete observation. The observation is not completed. Okay, we are talking about our research which is based on incomplete observations, and with this incomplete observations we come to the best predictions. Okay, we come to the best, we predict something which is very best and which may be true or which may be false. Okay, so which can be true or which can be false. Incomplete observation, it comes with the help of what? Incomplete observations with the best predictions. Okay, may be true or false. In simple terms, if I want to explain you in definition format, okay, it is nothing but a argument to the in the form of best explanation, which will give you the conclusion, but this conclusion, which it is basically based on something which is unobserved. You have came to the conclusion, you have came to the premises, you have came to the concerns, but which is something based on which is unobserved. That is what it's called as. What it is called as your abductive reasoning also you can call, or you can call it as your approach. Okay, like for example, let us take one more example. Let us take, like, if I'm talking about let me take one example. All the beans in this bags, suppose like for example bean bag, okay, so all the beans in this bags are white. Okay, now this is what abduction. Okay, the results is the beans are white. Okay, like this is a rule, the principle is your rule, but the hypothesis, the beans are from this bag. Okay, it can be white because we have not observed it. It is based on unobserved, but we know there are specific colors, so it may be true. Our conclusion may be true. Okay, so that is the principle which comes under your abductive, you can say, approach. Okay, like for example, based on what, suppose you have came across a white bean across the bag, and you have concluded that all the beans in this bags are white. So that is, you have not observed everything. Based on your unobserved things, you have came to a conclusion. Is it clear to you? Yes. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah. Answers. Yes, answers. I want everyone to go through the answers. Yeah. So we have the question, which of the following sequences best describe the deductive approach? So yes, we just studied theory, the hypothesis, and then we come to data collection and analysis and the conclusion. Okay, yes, very clear. Yeah, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow once again with the next concepts of research. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day ahead.